Hello, everybody. Hello, how's everyone doing tonight? Hopefully, you guys can hear me loud and clear because if you can, then that means everything should be running all okie dokie, ready to go for tonight's session, ladies and gentlemen, one and all, for the PokePod World Podcast. Once again, my name is KG Prestige. We are in session number 114. We are having a lot to get into for tonight, ladies and gents. Once again, this is going to be a fun filled podcast filled to the brim with quite a lot to talk about. We had an exciting event go down throughout the events within last week, from Smash to Pokemon, amongst many other stuff to talk about for tonight. So, we're going to get in. We're going to get ourselves strapped in for a wild ride, I think, for this discussion in the podcast. So, hope to see you guys throughout the pod. And yeah, let's see where things will go. So, TSS, I saw you just hop into the call, buddy.
How you doing?
How you
Feel
doing,
the
buddy?
boom dynamite.
You must be in a very good mood then.
Yes, because there's actually a product I want to talk about because it was revealed not too long ago, and it once again is a Pokemon product, and then cannot wait to talk about it.
Alrighty. Well, we'll get into that momentarily. We're just getting ourselves right in for tonight. As I stated before, we got a lot to talk about. We got, what is it, the release of one of the most hyped games on the Nintendo systems that released last week, Metroid Dread, which we actually did participate in Terrell's stream, which is on his channel if you guys want to go check it out over at the Insane Game Freak. And we played, or not, we didn't play, but we watched Terrell play the start of Metroid Dread. And of course, what else Nintendo related happened last week? Of course, none other than the big presentation for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the final one at that for Sakurai Presents, focusing on a character I think the world was asking for, but nobody ever thought this day would ever come. So there is that to talk about as well. We also got our hands into talking about the recent episode of PM 2019. So that's also going to be exciting to look forward to as well. And yeah, I'm almost done with Dread already. Well, that just shows you that the game is not necessarily long, but that also kind of gets into a discussion about whether it's quality or, you know, quantity in regards to like how much time one spends with the title. So we'll get into that in a bit as well. Yeah, a lot of people are excited for the character that's going to be happening in just a couple of days. I think a week from now, is it not? It's supposed to release on the 18th, if I'm correct.
Yes, that's right.
So yeah, very much exciting to see this go down, man. Oh yeah, look at that. Also for Canada, yeah, that is correct. In Canada, folks, we are celebrating Thanksgiving. So to those who live and reside in Canada, have yourselves
Which we
a nice
aren't.
Thanksgiving. But we do have a buddy who does, and that one
Yay.
deserves the happy Thanksgiving.
Also, Happy Columbus Day, Italian heritage, indigenous people, yada yada yada.
Yeah, I feel like there's like 15 million things. I think there's like a National Donut Day as well amongst all of that. And if there was a Happy National Donut Day too. I don't recall what national day. We got a National Nothing Day, man. So anything's national these days. But yeah, so let's get right into it then. Why don't we, TSS?
Yay.
All right. So first of all, let me pass this on to you, buddy, because you stated that you had something you wanted to talk about. And, well,
Yes.
I'll just let you go with it. So.
All right, so I'm gonna post this in the resources channel. So, during the episode, the original broadcast on TV Tokyo, there was a commercial for a brand new product that's coming out from Takara Tomy. And now, remember we talked about the smart Rotom phone the last time and how that was $100. So right now they're taking pre-orders for a product, and we're going to get this on the screen because why not? Also, I'm going to take the screenshot up as well from the commercial. Let me go and do that as well. Let me just get that rolling. Just get that up, and there we go. So this product is called. This product is from the. Let me just get the website up. It's from the Pokemon Pikato Academy, or the Pokemon. It's basically their educational academy division or product line. And it's called Mouse de Getto Pasokon, or catch with a mouse. Catch with a mouse computer. So it's basically that. So what it is that it's basically a portable computer, like a laptop, with lots of activities, including a screen that looks about the same size as the Rotom phone in the center there. But what's crazy about this is that it has, well, first of all, it has, you could look at 200 plus Pokemon. It has 9 different modes, which I'll read in a moment. 80 different menus and over 3,000 problems. So obviously this is used for like early education and whatnot. So all right, so here are the programming modes. We have programming or programming. We have Pasokon skill, which is computer skills. Kokugo, which is the Japanese language. Sansu, mathematics. Eigo, English. Ato, art. Seikatsu, which is life, daily life. Pokemon Geto, which is the capture mode. And Pokemon Zakan, which is the Pokedex mode. So in this one, you have, and they also give you like 5 different skins for the mouse. So you have a Pokeball, a Great Ball, an Ultra Ball, a Master Ball, and a Pikachu. So basically, this is like an educational computer. What's crazy though is that also on the website it says that it is a JIS standard input keyboard, a JIS standard keyboard. So yeah, you can either type in Kana or Romaji. So that's pretty cool. And according to this, it takes Tansan Arukari Denchi, which is the AA size. It takes 4 of them. It's for 4 and up. That's for ages 4 and up. And you can also use the Takatomi AC adapter. That's a Type 5U. To use it as well. So you can either power it using AA batteries or an AC adapter. The AC adapter is going to cost $20.
$20.
$20. But the actual PC, the actual computer is going to cost, with tax, 17,600 yen, which is just shy of $160. So it looks cool. It has a lot of activities. It's different than the kind of tablet one that they released a year or 2 ago. But no, this one looks pretty cool, pretty fun. There's a commercial, like a PV for using the computer. And it's kind of funny that all the rest of the mouse skins are actually placed on the lid of the piece of the computer, which is kind of funny. But yeah, looks pretty cool. And definitely, yeah, this is definitely for, helping educate kids. And it makes me wonder, back in the day you had people. I'll let me see, did we put the URL in the thing? No, we did not. Release date for this. Release date is going to be according to the website, according to the Takatomi official pre-order, it's going to be November the 13th. So I'm going to put that in there right now. So there it is, Mouse Get PC. And yeah.
That is such an amazing name.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. But yeah, we've got to remember that, back in the day, back in talking about the early 90s, we had a few things. We only had the freaking speak and spell, speak and read, speak and math. And then later on, people got the technology got a little bit fancier. Because I remember back in 1992, they released the Talking Wiz Kid Plus, where you have the automated female voice saying, it's like, hello, please press a code number. That shit. Shit that I remember. That even though I haven't touched that toy for like fucking 25 years, I still remember the fucking things. Also, yeah, and then you have also like speak and read. It's like word zap level 1. That shit. And to consider how much how great these kids have it now, even compared to the early 2000s. Even the early 2000s, portable educational computers for kids never looked this good. Is there a discount for the $20? What do you think this is? What do you think this is?
$20 is what now.
$20. Yeah, $20. Yeah, 160 plus $20. Oh yeah, Mavis Beacon, of course. Yeah, used a lot. Yeah, used a lot during late elementary and into junior high and also high school. Yeah, Mavis Beacon teaches typing. My favorite version of Mavis Beacon, by the way, is Mavis Beacon 8 because it had the aesthetically it looked great. I think it ran on Windows XP if I remember, and also it had like the typing game where it has an aquarium backdrop. I think it's Mavis Beacon teaches typing 8, but I think that was my favorite version out of all of them. But yeah, Mavis Beacon, even though I didn't use it a lot, it actually taught me how to like touch type.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, even today, I mean, if I were to go back and if I wanted to download like Mavis Beacon 8 and do that again, I would definitely would. A lot of those exercises were pretty neat. Oh yeah, Read a Rabbit. Of course, Read a Rabbit. I played that in kindergarten on the fucking app on the Macintosh LC pizza boxes that they had, the LC2s. And then they
I don't know why, but that
yeah.
sounds great.
Well, yeah, because those are the ones from the early '90s that had just the 3.5 inch floppy, and then the computer lab upgraded to I think Performa 575s, which were the 680 40s, and it had a CD-ROM drive. Leapfrog was also another thing. Yeah, Windows 95 and 98. Yeah. Yeah, or how about anybody remember Treasure Math Storm? Remember that? A lot of the Broderbund games and Spellbound. Anybody remember those?
Oh Jesus, man.
Yeah, used to play the shit out of that. My brother loved Treasure Math Storm. Holy moly! But yeah, to consider like look at how good the kids have it these days. Putting aside that you can give a freaking 2-year-old an iPad because that's a cop out. But we're talking about actual educational stuff, like a device that's designed specifically for like kids. If I would have had this shit back in the early to mid '90s, I would be fucking flipping. Holy
Understandable.
moly! Yeah. Or you mean Oregon Trail, Mornox? Let
Hey,
me see.
Lightning, thank you for the host, buddy.
I remember a Blue Robot education game. The Mario ABC. Yeah, that was for DOS and I think Mac.
I'll never give my 2 to 5 year old an iPad. Jesus Christ. Also, thank you so much, Dale, for the subscription as well. Subscribe for 32 months. Jesus Christ, man. Much love. Much love for that, pal.
Yeah, but like I said, I do like products like this. It's like, oh, but it's expensive. Yeah, but to consider that, hey, this is for this is educational stuff. Even back in the day, these like any of those computers, like the Talking Wiz Kid, they used to be like $40 to $60, and remember that's we're talking about like 1992 or '93 money. Wait, Amazon Trail. Oh, wait a minute. Amazon Trail. Okay. Wasn't that the one by Microsoft?
I'm
Because I remember something
at
like that.
what was it? Amazon Trail?
Amazon Amazon Trail.
Let me see. Amazon Trail.
I know it rang a bell in the back of my mind.
It
Amazon
was.
Trail would have been a Microsoft game, right?
It says here, developers MECC, the learning company,
Okay, Mech.
based
Yeah.
off the Oregon Trail series.
All right. Yeah. Also, if we're talking about Mech Games, or ones that are made by MECC, I remember what was it? What the hell was it? Clockworks and let me see. It was Clockworks and Moneyworks.
God, what is it with these old school games just suddenly spawning back into the world of the modern age? Because on social media, I've been seeing a lot of references to old school games. And when I say old school games, I'm also referring to games that were accessible in school. One of my favorite ones that I saw was this weird block game where you had to like move a rectangular block into a hole without having it fall off the map. I forgot what the
Hmm.
name of that game was called. Maybe you guys in the chat might remember what it is. But it's just nice seeing like these old school computer games just suddenly be brought back to light in this current era. I don't know why it's suddenly showing up, But it is, and I wish I could remember it, man. It was such a good game.
Well, it would probably come up if you search for like '90s educational games.
Oh, Cool Math Games. That's what the name of the company was called. Cool Math Games.
Also, another
Bloxers.
game.
Bloxers. That's what it is. Okay, I
Yeah,
found
and
it.
then, oh shit! Wait a minute, Donnie used the OLPC. Holy shit, dude!
What?
The OLPC, that was like that piece of shit AMD Geode processor from like 2001.
I just
Holy
don't
shit,
know.
that was like the laptop for everyone fucking thing. Holy shit, I haven't heard that in like fucking 20 years. Like they made 15 years.
Hold on. This is the
Holy
game I'm also
shit.
talking about. How many of you guys remember this one as well? Holy
Oh
shit.
my
We're just
God.
going old school with this one, man.
And another thing, another series of games I remember was Thinking Things.
Wait. Thinking. What was it called?
Thinking Things.
Thinking Things. Was that part of Cool Math Games?
No, I think it was a different. It was a different one.
Oh, it has like this weird animal and whatnot in here.
Yeah, it's like a space thingy, and it has the animals. And
Yeah, I
stuff,
see a
yeah.
forest as well.
Yep.
Oh my god, hold on a
The
second.
mini
Let me
games,
try
yeah.
seeing if I could put that in here in the chat to see this. But anybody remember this game right here, Bloxers? I see a lot of people do here.
I remember
This
that
is
game.
the one. Okay, TS says I have to ask if this is the one. Also, I think I forgot to share
Yeah,
this.
let's go.
That's
Yes.
the one, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro. We're just reliving old ass memories right now tonight.
Yeah, Freddy the Fish. Yeah.
Fireball and Water Girl. Hold on a second. I don't remember
Number
that.
Muncher. Yes, I've heard of them, but I really haven't played a lot of them.
Oh shit.
But-
Okay, never mind. I did remember this game. Oh my god.
what the Thinking Things?
No, the Fireball and Water Girl one that chat brought up. Hold on a second. Let me put it in here so you can see it for yourself, buddy.
Sure.
It might be a while to remember, but damn, man, this does look so familiar.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Holy shit, where you had to like play with the characters and hit them in the appropriate spots so it activates certain triggers, I think it was, and you had to get them both to their respective doors.
Late '90s, early 2000s. Yeah.
Oh man. Back in the day, bro, getting into access on computers that weren't like disabled as well, where like you couldn't you know, like computers normally it would be like you couldn't access this site because the school prevents you. If you were lucky enough back in the day to get access to a computer that didn't have any of those restrictions, bro, the Flash games of the old days were some of the best. I wanna bring up an old game, an old classic for me personally. Let me see if I could find it real quick.
Yeah. Also, I still remember going to the New York Public Library, and then on the used to run like Optiplex GX1s, and you used to be able to bring a floppy disk and used to save anything. I used to go there, and I used to save like SNES ROMs to freaking floppy disk because it was too slow to get it. And also, I downloaded the entire macOS 7.5.3 installed disks onto like 26 floppies.
Yeah, oh, good God. Now, who remembers this game here? I just want to see if anybody here ever remembers this game. This is one of the games I grew up with back when the Flash was accessible, man. If you guys do not know this, first of all, I think you're missing out on quality content, but this one was one of my personal favorites, man. This and that weird, what was it, like that Cat Mario, I think, as well? That was also just as good too.
Also, there's another Flash game that came out in the early to mid 2000s that was called Nanaka Crash.
Damn.
Where basically you just like, you're this girl on a bike and you hit this guy at freaking full speed and he just flies.
Let me see. Popular.
Nanaka Crash. Yeah.
Let's see if I can find any of some of the other nostalgic ass Flash games from the old days and see if people will remember it or not. In case people used
to go on fucking stickdeath.com and shit. Yeah.
In case people want to know what this game is called, it's called Roller Boy. This was an old Flash game that was available back then. It was amongst the likes of even like this one. Anybody remember this game?
That's K. It was on. You know what's funny? That was actually on That was on Dr. Floyd's Desktop Toys back in 1993.
For real now.
Yeah, K. Wait, no, K was the ball one. This one is a little bit different. Kai. Sorry, Kai was the one I was thinking of. But that's a different game. It looks very similar to that. Let me see if I can bring it up. Hold on.
Let me see what else we got going on over here that I could also pick out from.
Yes. We had yeah. This is a small screenshot, so you're gonna have to blow this up. But yeah, this.
Let me see
That's
where you
Kai.
posted it. Oh my god.
You remember that game?
Old ass. Well, first of all, that image is so small, and secondly, I do though.
Yeah, Windows
Bro.
3.1. Kai. It's fucking Kai.
God, this is one of those weird ass. Good God, man! Old school games are some of the best.
Yeah, Kai. That used to be fucking great.
I know we got like modern day age games nowadays, but there was just something magical with the old Flash games of the past, man. It just truly is something that you had to live in that moment to really understand the appeal of them. You know,
I mean, old school Mac and Windows games from like the 90s, like the early 90s.
Yeah.
To early 90s to early 2000s. Bless you.
Remember. You heard that from over there, Jesus Christ.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember which one was it. Oh shit. What was that game that I'm trying to remember? There was an old ass game that was available in like a website that you could play, and it was one of the most memorable games for me back then, only just because it was kind of like an RPG kind of. Oh, I think I remember it now. I think I remember what it was called. Let me see if I could find it again. Oh, here we go. There we go. I think I did find it. I think I found the image. Chat, I need to ask. I wonder if you guys ever remembered this game here. Anybody ever remembered this game by any chance? Because this is an old ass game from long ago that I think most people had played it. And I remember playing the shit out of it. It's called Adventure Quest. It's on a website that you can play it on, and I think it's still even active now, which is like it's like an RPG kind of thing where you just work with your knight and try to level up and all that shit, and try to progress through the story.
How about anybody remember the games at Newgrounds like fucking Pimp Quest and things like that?
Oh, bro. Hold on, let's go back to the Newground 2000s games and see what kind of games we can find through here. Powered by Flash. Let's see. I mean what was it? What was his name again? Fancy Pants. Anyone remembers Fancy Pants as well? Just a dude with a pair of pants. The Henry Stickmin collection was also part of that, I think, from the past. But amongst others that I'm just seeing over here, just old school games, man. Oh, and
Little Howie's Funhouse game. Let me see. Oh yeah, I never got to play that, though. No.
Oh, hold on a second. Have you guys ever had one? Have you ever played those interactive sites by any chance, like the ones where you have to take care of creatures and whatnot? I'm referring to this one in particular. Let me see if I can get it. Anybody ever played Neopets?
Oh my God, Neopets!
Anybody ever remember this game?
A family friend of mine used to play this shit all the fucking time.
It was such
fucking
an experience.
Neopets.
Did you ever play Foo Pets though? What Foo Pets? Let me see Foo Pets. Oh God!
Anybody remember the original version of Dogs and Cats for Windows?
No.
The ones with the cats with the Z and dogs.
Dogs.
Yeah, and you remember that?
I'm trying to recall off the top of my head. I'm gonna be honest, probably not, because that thing is old as hell. Time itself, man. Oh God, these look incredible. I really do have to say these just reliving old memories are honestly some of the best here. Oh God, I love it. All right, though. So let's get out of the nostalgia feed for a second here. Let me just turn that off. Boop. There we go. I will admit, I do find a lot of appreciation for these kind of things, man. I don't know
And
why.
archive.org has most of this stuff anyway.
Does it now?
Yeah, because if you go on archive.org, you see a lot of like abandonware and a lot of these educational games that are no longer being produced. But also you can find like collections of like Commodore 64, Amiga, pretty much anything that you want, but mostly like PC games. Like I said, I was able to find a 1001 shareware CD that I bought back in like 1999.
Wow.
And somebody actually uploaded that to archive.org because my disk had been freaking destroyed. So I was able to find like all the stuff back in the day. But the problem is you needed to have at the most like Windows 95 or Windows 98 to run it. Otherwise it won't work because a lot of the stuff was actually DOS games.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, chat. May I ask you guys for a simple favor? In the chat, just go nuts real quick. Just spam any emotes you have access to. I want to see if this function works right now. If you guys can just spam emotes, that would be great. Just to see, because I want to test this out. I didn't get a chance to test this out the last time we played a game. Hey, look at that. They do pop in there. Nice. Bro, they're showing up. Look at that. I love it. Oh my god. That's great. And also, who the hell is she? Okay, thank you, chat. You guys are holy damn. You guys are going nuts with the emotes. Much appreciated, though. You guys got to start using those goddamn emotes, man, so they can start popping up for you guys here. Oh god, look at the Denny's. That is beautiful. All right, so
Wait, somebody had a poach on my dab. What the fuck?
yeah,
Like,
who wait, is that who I think it is? Oh no, it's not. I was thinking it was a person in particular. It's Michael 87 is
somebody has a K.
Okay, we got some love for
Yeah.
K here. Look at that. It's KEXE.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love this. All right, I'm gonna just thank you for that chat.
Onigiri-kun and shit.
Yeah, there we go.
Franker.
I'll leave it like that.
That's a Franker Z's spazzing out. Yeah.
Beautiful. Hey, Gold Miner, how you doing, buddy? Thank you once again for all the spam of the emotes in the chat. I needed to see if that feature worked, and thankfully it does. You gave us power. Yeah, I did give you guys power. Y'all better use that power. Well, if you are subscribed, of course. If you're not subscribed, you're clearly missing out on using these fun emotes that are from this channel in particular, anyway. So make sure to subscribe if you have yet to do so. Oh, look at the Grookey there, just jamming the thingy, my bob. That's cute. All right, so let's get into it. So, let's see. I was expecting Tyrone by this point to have already popped up, so we could have talked about it. Because I know Tyrone has a more, a much better connection with this franchise than I do personally. Given that he's played the games beforehand, and I've only ever got a chance to sort of dabble on it for a little bit. Never really gotten it anywhere further than like maybe the first game, but I did still at least want to talk about it with Tyrone as well. I'm not sure if you're also familiar with the game yourself, as in if you've played it, but this also in regards to what I'm talking about is connected to Smash Brothers. As you know, Nintendo had their final direct focusing on Smash Brothers via aka Mr. Sakurai Presents, which aired last week. And the big thing we're going to have to talk about is, of course, the final. The last character to finally show up in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The conclusion for it. But go on.
But before that, the Doom guy is going to be a the costume.
Yes, that is a big thing as well. I'm still surprised by that, I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's the coolest thing ever, that he actually got in. And he's the small guy.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Even the Doom official account, retweeted something that they said that they posted in January.
I think my favorite thing was that they said finally.
Finally,
they just said finally. They're like, yeah, we've wanted this guy already in there for like how long now? But let's talk about it then real quick. Oh, this thing's not working here. Let's get the media source working. Oh no, it's gone. Oh no, the thingy's not working, is it? Oh wait, no, I didn't transition. That's what happened. There we go. Let's transition real quick. Beautiful. Now here we are. Let's go ahead and talk about this, chat. So we are now finally in the final presentation who we've had, and as you know, TSS mentioned before, we got a chance to see some of the amiibos in action, but most importantly, we also got a chance to see one of the final characters that are going to be coming into Smash via the form of what we see right here, the Doom guy. And I honestly gotta say, I'm very happy that Doom guy got in, man.
I
Very,
am
very
too.
happy about it.
Honestly, I am too. I mean, I was up there thinking that like the left Tetris piece, the yellow one,
Yeah.
was gonna make it in, but shit happens, I guess.
Why do people expect the that guy to show up though is what I want to know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I will say the reason why I was happy with Doomslayer, and this is a minor thing though, is just because I don't know how far you've been following the ship,
Hmm.
the between Isabel and Doom guy.
Yeah, because I got it because they came out the same day.
Yeah, so we got that like Doom Horizons
Yeah, and I
bullshit.
remember I remember when they had Doom in the same font as Animal Crossing and they had Animal Crossing in the same font as Doom. It was fucking
Yeah, and
hilarious.
people made like these cool ass like mods and all that shit like as well. They did SMMs and whatnot based on those two. So people were excited that Doomslayer got into it because now canonically fans can say Doom Guy is in Smash Brothers, even if it's just like the me. But like think about it, when Sans appeared, everybody was happy with Sans, man. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
they were more happy with Sans than the character that was actually released. What
I
was the character that was released?
Banjo.
Oh no, they were equally happy. It was Byleth, I think that
No,
was.
Byleth was with
Byleth,
Cuphead.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Byleth came out and then Cuphead came out and everybody lost their fucking
Yeah,
minds.
everyone lost their
And
minds
then,
over the Cuphead, not
yeah,
the.
so they did that thing in the SpongeBob one where like they showed Byleth and everybody just is quiet, and then they showed Cuphead and everybody's like clapping and shit.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I was very happy with that introduction too. But now, as we were talking about before, with the Mii Fighters, it's nice to see for the final time. The last one to get into the Mii Fighter cast was Doomslayer. He's not the last fighter, but that's when we get into this trailer. The
Oh
final
god.
trailer and the final character for Super
And
Smash Bros.
you
Ultimate.
and I, there's a new at hand.
Everybody was playing the Donald Duck version.
Angels will. Smash, Mick, Mick, four kisses the devil, my sanctuary, my sanctuary. I don't know. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
that song.
I love the
Oh, it's
simple and
nice.
clean one. It's
Yeah.
always so perfect, man.
Somebody edited that with the Kingdom Hearts trailer, like this trailer with the Kingdom Hearts trailer. It's so good. It's actually really fucking good. Like I'm legitimately shocked how good it looks.
Yeah. So, without going any further, chat, the final character that you see right over here is none other
Mario!
than Dark Souls.
Mario! He's in Smash!
Okay,
Finally!
quick question, chat. How many of you all fell for that Dark Souls shit with the bonfire over there?
It did look
Just
like
at it
it.
because that shit was straight up Dark Souls, man. I saw that shit and I'm like, bonfire? Is that Dark Souls? What the fuck? Why is Dark Souls in this shit?
Hey, it's confirmed Mario's a Keyblade master, by the way.
Yeah, canonically Mario was too focused on Chris Pratt.
Let's go.
I can't
Fight the
believe
dark.
Chris Pratt summoned Sora from Kingdom Hearts, man.
Oh, I love the fan art of that too. It's like, wow, not only is Chris Pratt Mario, he's also a Keyblade master.
Truly, this has been an incredible week for Chris Pratt, man. But God, I love this trailer. I just want to say right now, I'm so happy with the direction they took this trailer because it's such a basic trailer, but it does what it needs to do, and that is simply just be magical. This was a magical moment, man. Something that I
I like
feel
People were crying
nobody
and stuff, yeah.
ever
I
thought
like
would
the
happen.
alternative. I like the alternative universe aspect of it, where Sora's light is the thing that frees them from said world of light. That makes sense to me. Like that fits the story, even though obviously Kirby saves everybody in the world of light. But the nice little alternative story.
I always assumed the way the trailer was portrayed was that like the toys were gonna go back to sleep until the next day comes, until the next Smash game comes out, and then they can come back and start playing anew again. However, before they end up going to sleep, they end up getting awakened by one last character, which also happened to be titled, I think, was the final key for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's trailer. But like,
Yeah.
I just really love this, man. It's just so wholesome. It's been something
Oh
that fans
God,
have
it
been
tells me
waiting.
how old I am. This game came out so long
It's about
ago.
to celebrate its 20th anniversary in March of next year.
I know.
It's about to celebrate its 20th goddamn anniversary. This title is goddamn old.
Now, when I first saw it, I thought they were only advertising Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora, but then his alternate costumes are his other forms, which that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad.
I love the attention to detail they went. They went above and beyond for Sora. They made sure that last inclusion was to go as insane as possible, man. And I think they achieved it.
I'll agree and disagree on that, but I'll get into it in a second.
Okay. But yeah, so one last thing I want to talk about. Honestly, I listen, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. There were so many parts of this trailer that made me like emotional, but it was this ending over here of this trailer. The handshake that shook the goddamn world, man. Mario shaking hands with Sora. I don't know what it is about that. I legitimately don't know what it was in that moment, but it made me cry when I saw that.
People thought it was a reference to Marvel vs. Street Fighter, the intro.
Well, to be fair, that was the first big
Same
crossover,
energy.
if I recall
Yeah,
correctly.
same energy.
Yeah.
So-
I saw this little video. I don't know how big it is, but I saw this little video where Sora's like in Smash Brothers, and he's like, "Hey, Goofy, Donald, you're here too," and it shows like Duck Hunt, obviously. And then it shows those other characters that they did comparisons to. They were like, Maleficent, you're here, and then it shows like Bayonetta. And then it's like, Pete, you're here too, and it's like Incineroar, but he's in black. And then he's like, Sephiroth, Cloud. And it just shows Sephiroth and Cloud because they're
just generic. But it works though. That's the thing. It works.
You know, if you play Kingdom Hearts 2, there's a secret boss fight with Sephiroth you do.
Yes.
And after that secret boss fight, Sephiroth and Cloud fight and they go off to a different world. And the joke was always that Sephiroth went to Smash, and then Cloud went to Smash, and then Sephiroth followed him. Now we've got the joke where Cloud went to Smash, Sephiroth followed him, and then Sora followed right after.
And if you notice in the CGI trailer, not the footage trailer, the CGI trailer, the only two third-party characters that were there were Cloud and Sephiroth. Yeah. You don't see Sonic, you don't see Banjo, you don't see any of the other characters outside of just those two third parties. And honestly, I'm very happy with that decision, though. I'm just glad to see it. I want to say to those who are feeling down that they didn't get to still see their final character show up, you know, because I know a lot of people were hoping for Rayman or maybe Crash Bandicoot, Waluigi. But let's be real here for a second. If this is to be the final Smash, and I'll get into that a little bit. If this is to be the final Smash, I feel like there's no better way to end it off than with these two right here, in my honest opinion. I think Sora shaking hands with Mario is the definitive closure that was needed for just not simply Smash Ultimate, but for Smash as a franchise. Because now moving forward, we don't know when the next Smash is going to come. And we don't know the scope that they're going to take it.
I'm going to be honest, because obviously at first I didn't really want Sora in Smash. But it wasn't really Sora himself. It was more or less like, to me, Smash was starting to just become Mugen 2.0, where no longer were people excited about the game or the gameplay or the fighting. They were excited about who's going to just show up. People were so happy that Ridley showed up, and then sadly, I don't see Ridley used at all.
Well, to be fair, that's because Ridley actually isn't really good at all as a character.
But that's not the point. I thought the point was that everybody kept screaming, "Oh, we want Ridley, we want Ridley, we want Ridley." Ridley finally shows up and he's not even like played. So I'm like thinking people are just more excited to see cameos of characters that show up in their debut for the hype rather than the characters themselves. So that was my disdain towards Sora mostly. Mm-hmm. But then after a while I thought about it. And I'm like, wait a minute, Sora being here kind of fits Kingdom Hearts' little theme any damn way. Because Sora goes to different worlds anyway. And he's always adjusting to whatever world that he goes to. So naturally, he would travel here. And if you watch the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, where he's gone for good in Kingdom Hearts' world and is off to another world, you can arguably say that in an alternate timeline, Sora came here. This is where he showed up after Kingdom Hearts 3. Obviously, you would have to take out his Kingdom Hearts 1 outfit and replace it with his Kingdom Hearts 3 outfit. But the point is, this is where Sora ended in this timeline. Is in the world of Smash, which makes sense thematically. So I'm not mad that he's in it. I think, like, overall, it was just a shit fest of which character can show up. But KG, you brought up a good point too. The fact that Sora's the last character means that this is it. He's the cap-off point.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't think there was any other way to wrap it up than with the man himself. Or the kid himself at this point.
Now, I do have some criticisms.
I do have some praises as well, and I feel that one of my praises is probably one of your criticisms. So,
okay, what?
I like that they chose KH1 Sora.
Oh no, I don't like that. I like KH2 Sora.
Okay,
like
I was more happy with KH1, honestly.
Kingdom Hearts 2 is like the best. I love Kingdom Hearts 2 so fucking much that I can't.
Notice that the game stopped being good when Final Fantasy characters stopped being one of the focal points in a game.
Yeah, that's true too. I have too many memories with Kingdom Hearts 2. Like Kingdom Hearts 1 I have memories with and played, and obviously it's the first. Mm-hmm. But 2 just hits. Also, I do love when he beats opponents. It does that. It does the slowdown thing.
Bro, the amount of references that they got in the moveset is incredible. It really is a game to behold.
That's not my major criticism though. My criticism for Sora mostly falls within his gameplay, and I kind of get it, but at the same time, I'm a little underwhelmed. If you play Kingdom Hearts 2, you know that Sora can do some crazy ass shit. Like, he can turn his Keyblade into a gun at some point, like multiple guns. Mm-hmm. He can do all these crazy moves, these limit breaks, these twirls, twists. It feels like they're just using his base with a little bit of combos from his Kingdom Hearts 2 form. But this is like Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora in terms of combos.
But that makes sense, though, because that's why they chose him. I think they chose KH1 because like they didn't have to go too wild if they had to go with KH2 or KH3, you know?
I just love Sora's whole, like... And in the other Kingdom Hearts games later on, he develops, and you see he has cool little combos. He, like, juggles opponents, does these cool little twists and turns and snappy... Like, you know how everybody says that Smash Melee is, like, the best because of how fast it is?
Yes.
That's kind of like how Kingdom Hearts 2 was, where Sora moves lightning fast and does these cool little, like, straight-up blitzes and combos. And, like, if you press your limit triangle button correctly, then he'll do all these crazy little things and this magic. But here, he's just doing his, like, fire, ice, and thunder. The basic shit. And what makes matters worse is other spells are just his taunts, and I'm like, oh, come on, give us gravity, give us Balloona if you want to, give us like magnetism and all the other cool little spells that he does. His final smash is just him like locking them into a door and then just moving the key. Boo! It's a final smash. Make it as wild as fucking possible.
If only they could. I think a lot of the Disney references probably had to have been...
They don't even have to be Disney references. It could have literally been Sora slicing you up, knocking you in the air, holding his Keyblade in the air, and then they show those little circles, those little relic circles that happen, and the beams of light could have knocked you up and everything. Like, I
always liked it here because it felt like it was, and you could quote this, closing the door on Smash Brothers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. I know one thing also is that, like, I'm comparing it, unfortunately, to Sephiroth's Final Smash, and Sephiroth's Final Smash is fucking crazy.
It's too nuts.
It's Meteor. It's Meteor. The spell Meteor. So that's probably why I'm obviously asking for too much. They gave us Sora, and I guess that's supposed to be enough, and I'm sure they fought their asses off to get him, because I remember people were making the joke, the Mickey Mouse keychain at the end of Sora's Keyblade is the most expensive thing.
It's more expensive than Sora, yeah.
Yeah. And then I like the joke that Phoenix Wright is his lawyer, and that's how he got into Smash. I like that. I don't know. I feel like that's a nice little like. Okay, Phoenix Wright can't be in the game, but he helped.
Yeah, he contributed in the background. So just know that it's because of Phoenix Wright that Sora's in this game in some way,
Yeah,
shape, or form.
Phoenix Wright is in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, so it's okay.
Technically, yeah. Actually, no. Phoenix Wright is canonically in the Smash universe because given that some Marvel character, or not Marvel, but some Street Fighter characters are in this game, clearly that
And
means
Mega
that they're
Man.
also in the same universe too. Exactly.
And Mega Man. Too.
And Mega Man.
Because
Makes me wonder, Sora voice clips from the first game? I don't know just yet. I think they're based off the first game, probably, because it is his first form here. So probably they went with his first game's voice tracks and whatnot. So
I think they did the Pokmon Trainer route where, like, if you pick the other ones, they pick his voice clips from all the games he was in.
if that's the case, that's actually a very nice touch.
Yeah,
Especially
because
because
I think I heard him say, like, in his Kingdom Hearts 2 voice, I think I heard him say a deeper version. Because obviously his highest voice is Kingdom Hearts 1, because he's still a kid at this time. And literally the voice actor was a kid at this time.
also Muffin says they are.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
a really nice touch. Okay, I didn't even pay
Yeah.
attention to
I'll
that.
tell you
part.
that Sora does see dead people because that's what it is.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's really good, though, because now, if I pick Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora, I won't get Kingdom Hearts 1's voice, which is good.
Yeah. Like, it really caters to anybody. If you like KH1, KH1 is there. If you like KH2, KH2 is there. If you like 3D, it's there. 3,
They got,
it's there.
I lost my, it's so weird. Sora himself, I was like, yay, whatever. When they released his Valor form suit, I went nuts. I was like, Valor form!
And his Ultimate form that he had from 3 as well. And then the
Oh, yeah.
Timeless River. That's the closest we'll get to Disney classics in this goddamn franchise,
I
man.
thought that one was odd, but I still liked it. I kind of wish they had picked his Toy Story one, the one where he's a Lego.
But that would have made it, they would have to do like some kind of crazy redesign or something for him. And I think that would have been too much.
Yeah, but I lost my shit when I saw Valor form. Wisdom form's in there too, which I think is kind of cool. I'm glad they picked the two major forms. Because you only get Valor form if you fuse with Goofy. You get Wisdom form if you fuse with Donald. So
Yeah.
I actually really like that. That's a nice touch.
Oh, I also want to pay homage to like one particular moment that honestly was the best thing about this goddamn trailer. They revealed that Kuraga is in this game via the taunt.
Yeah,
right?
it's a ton. Kuraga.
And they mention, and Sakurai mentions that even though Kuraga is being played, it has no effect. Similar to
doesn't
Kingdom Hearts when you have Donald who's using it and it has no effect on you as well in the game.
So Donald.
Exactly. They actually did a Donald in Sora's moveset. So good on you, Sakurai, for really paying your utmost respect to even the characters that are not presented in this goddamn game. Which, funny enough, I love that they replaced Donald and Goofy with Starfish and a boat as well. I understand why, but it's just hilarious that they're not there. Like, really, the
Yeah.
only Disney thing we got in this goddamn thing was that keychain, man. That little
Leave
cute
it,
Mickey Mouse
leave it to
keychain.
Nintendo to give us the next Kingdom Hearts content before Kingdom Hearts did.
I'm
In
curious
record
about.
time, too.
I'm curious about how is Nomura gonna tie this into the mainline games, man. That's the real question. You know he's going to want to include this in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
Especially given that Cloud and Sephiroth are here, so theoretically you could say that they went to some kind of brawl.
yeah. And one thing I do love when a new character does show up. Now, obviously, this adds to my criticism, but but if the character's already implemented in, at this point, it's nothing we can do. Just have fun with it. I like the little fan art interactions that they have. Like, I like that one. There's a picture of Sora and Pit, and they're like walking, and they're like cross-armed, and they're walking all jolly and shit. And Kirby's with them with a Maxim tomato, and they're all just chilling because Sora and Pit kind of look similar. So basically they're best friends, and I like that idea. Or like when Sephiroth and Pichu apparently are like supposed to be inseparable. Like
Yeah.
for some reason Pichu is like Sephiroth's like pet.
Yeah, I love that. That was
Cloud has
canonical.
While Cloud has Pikachu.
Another thing I also like is that people were saying, I can't wait for Sora to interact with Sora, and it's the picture of Sora and then another picture of Pit. So somebody made a comic of the two, like, having this bro hug, and then they talk with Palutena, and she's like, oh shit, there's two of them now.
Yeah.
Like, I love the simple shit like that. There's so many good comics out there that people have made. It's so wholesome that now I can see legitimate artwork based on a friend. I think that's the craziest part, Teron. It's not just necessarily about the game itself, but also just how much this means in like the community with like content and all that. Because now you can say, oh shit, Sora is tied to this game. Oh shit, this comic now makes more sense, or this comic feels more relatable because this does exist in the real world in a title, in a video game. So seeing comics with like Sora and Pit playing around with each other, or Sora hanging out with Pikachu, Kirby, you know, even like showing off the Keyblade to like Daisy. There was a cool one with Daisy as well with that. And I also the one with Zelda and Sora, and he's showing the Keyblade of one of the designs. I think it's based off the one from
Can't
Tangled.
find it anymore, but they showed there was a fan art of Sora holding up the Master Sword and Link holding up the Keyblade. I liked that. That was nice.
I
because
know. I
obviously
think I know which RPs you were talking about, but you know what happened to me? I got hit by that Twitter refresh, man.
Yeah, I like it because you're supposed to be worthy to hold either. So I like the idea that either or would work out.
It's such a good feeling,
Yeah,
man. It really
it's
is.
nice. It's nice. It really is. It really is.
Like I stated before, I believe there was no other character that they could have chose as a finale than with Sora. And honestly, this really makes you think about like if this plan had not gone through, they still had 5 fighters for you. Like I think that, like probably when Fighter Pass Season 2 got announced, the collaboration between Nintendo and Disney had happened at that instant, and that's when the 11th Fighter Pass got revealed, or the 11th fighter character got revealed. And it was Sora. I don't know what it is, but I feel like they were just right there at the very brink about to announce Season 2, and Disney was like, okay, we'll give you Sora. And they're like, okay, let's slap him into number 11 instead. We'll make an 11th slot for this kid. And they did. Like, for real, props to Nintendo, props to Disney, to Square Enix for even making what is considered the impossible possible. But I will admit there was one thing about this entire presentation that really made me cry, because you have to think about it from the perspective of Sakurai and why he made Smash Ultimate the way it is. So, back when this game was being in development, most people might not remember this, but Iwata was still alive at the time. And Iwata gave Sakurai the idea of making the next Smash game. And they were working together with the ballot in mind. A Smash ballot that was used back then during the Nintendo 3DS / Wii U Smash game that came out at that time.
Yeah,
And they were able to use that and tied it into the current timeline now. And that's why Sakurai said that when Mr. Iwata was around, we looked at the Smash ballot, and now we could finally say that the connections that were in that ballot are now tied into where we're at currently. And Sora was the most requested fighter in the Smash ballot. And I liked all of that. But I think the other thing that also hit me emotionally is that, honestly, I think this is it for Sakurai. I think this is Sakurai's finale, because it was Iwata.
For this series.
Yeah, like this really it. Like, I don't need no more Smash. Just port this game moving forward. Just port this.
He's
Or-
strictly
or-
gonna do Kirby shit now.
Or what they can do is they could do exactly what they've done. By the way, this is other news with the Sword and Shield, where they have everything in one cartridge, no DLC required. So I imagine that they're going to release the ultimate version of the ultimate version
Smash
of
Ultimate
the
Plus,
ultimate fighting game. Yes,
Yeah.
of the ultimate fighting game. So
That does
I would
make
imagine
sense because in Japan, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is actually getting the full collection, the Ultimate Collection, which is including DLC Pack 1 and 2.
The Game of the Year collection.
Yeah, Game of the Year that came out 3 years ago.
Yeah, why not? I mean that would be great. I mean, by that time, I believe that there's gonna be Switch cartridges that can hold all of that data. Just imagine like every single thing, every single DLC, every single character,
The
every
me
single
fighters, the
costume, music.
characters, oh god, the music. But oh my god, please have all the music unlocked and everything.
Yeah,
Just have everything accessible at the time. Smash
six,
Ultimate is a treat, man. It really is. It's an incredible journey from beginning to end, and I'm so
yeah. I would not
happy.
be surprised if in 2022 or late 2022 or 2023 that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I would expect it like during the summertime at least. I think that would be the most sense to release it. Honestly, I would not mind at all buying it again. If that artwork of Smash Ultimate's Deluxe Edition has all of the third party characters in the front, I would go and buy that shit in a heartbeat. Because that'll be like one of the rare instances you'll get to see Mario, Sora, Cloud, Sonic, Pac-Man, Mega Man, amongst all of these other characters in an actual physical front cover, a legitimate one at that, man. Not no fakesies, no nothing. It's a legitimate front cover with those DLC
Yeah.
characters, and that would be mind blowing to me.
I
But
feel like the artwork where Sora's like heartless and it shows fucking Mr. Game and Watch.
there's so many good art pieces, man. For
And then
real.
Sonic goes, Chris, how'd you get here? And Sora goes, who's Chris? From Sonic X.
Oh god, I remember. Yeah, I remember there was like a comic where they saw Sora slowly coming out, and then they zoomed into Sonic frame by frame until they got into his eyes, and then they showed this. They showed Chris, and he freaked the fuck out, man. I loved it. But yeah, not much more to say other than I'm just really happy he's in here, man. I really am. I'm so happy that this kid got in. And also, I don't know how many of you guys been paying attention to all the reactions on social media as well. Our buddy
Mm.
Taco also cried as well in his reaction to
Yeah, a
Sora.
lot of people
A
did.
lot
A
of
lot of
people
people.
cried, man. This was something that I feel was truly a magical moment that I feel we'll never get to see happen again. In like, let's be real, Mario shaking hands with Sora, Nintendo shaking hands with Disney. I don't think we'll ever get something of
I
that
think this is
caliber
I think
ever
this is
again.
I think this is like the equivalent of when Sonic showed up in Brawl.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
all began with that and ended with this.
Yep.
And honestly, I feel there is no better way to wrap it up than with those.
Sonic showed up and people were like, huh. I mean, Snake showed up and people were like, huh. Then Sonic showed up and they were like,
Bro, it was in the
oh.
newspaper. Everybody in school was talking about it. People woke up for that moment. Yeah, because people were screaming when they saw that shit upon waking up, and everybody was going ballistic over this. God, it was great. So yeah, once again, I'm in disbelief, bro. When I fell off the chair when the Keyblade came out, I was at work when that time, and I had to hold my scream. I was like, like that.
And I know, and I want to make this very clear because I believe Terrell can vouch for me, even though he's not here. We make a lot of criticisms about Kingdom Hearts because Kingdom Hearts has been a very back and forth series. But obviously, it is iconic enough to where if Sora shows up, it's gonna catch eyes. Sora is a bit of a late MC when it comes to popular MCs. But he's very recognizable. He's very noticeable. He's a very like staple video game character at this point in time.
Yeah.
So to see him here is something that even if you didn't like it at first, I'm sure at some level you're gonna come to appreciate Sora just being here.
Yeah.
Because I remember TSS, I think you talked about it, like, what year is it? When Pac-Man and Mr. Game & Watch did that little thing. Pac-Man had got released to Smash, and he did that little thing with Mr. Game & Watch, but it was celebrating the fact that they're both 1980. Yeah, 1980. So I think this is in that realm of, like, that level, where Sora is a 2000s game character that makes history as a staple character. He obviously wasn't in like the 80s with Mario, Game & Watch, and Pac-Man, and then 90s like Sonic, but it's very clear he's made such a staple in video games that him being here means something whether you like him or hate him.
Yeah, he's part of gaming. He's part of gaming.
Yeah, he's part
history,
of gaming. Yeah, he's gay. He's a gaming iconic character. Like if you look up a marketing textbook from 2000s, and when it comes to video games, I'm sure Sora is gonna be brought up. I mean, he's fucking Final Fantasy and Disney. Like that. So yeah, it is crazy. No, whether you hated this DLC or liked it, it's crazy to see like a game that accumulates all this shit together.
And then people are asking about the cloud ports. Now, if you
Yeah,
want,
we
if you
got
want
into
my
the
real,
debacle with that, didn't
I'm
we?
gonna let you two go at that one.
Okay.
right. First of all, I will say this. If you want my like 100% full opinion, you can watch Modern Vintage Gamers video on this whole thing because I totally 100% agree with him. But to give the Cliff Notes version, the biggest problem is we think that it was a cost cutting measure, but also I think it's a time issue. Because I agree with MVG here. Square Enix probably went to some developers that can port, Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 and 2.8, and they said, oh, probably 2 years plus.
Yeah, because they're beefy ass games. Let's be real.
Yeah, but it's not as beefy. But the thing is, though, Kingdom Hearts 3 runs on Unreal Engine 4, which the Switch really can't handle that well. It could take a miracle. It would take a miracle to port those games over. Also, Donnie's saying the PS3 versions, they wouldn't be the PS3 versions because the PS3 uses the IBM Cell processors and the SPU stuff. Those calls cannot be emulated into a new generation. That's why a lot of remasters happen on the PS4 because Sony couldn't find a way to properly emulate the SPUs that the SPU calls that the PS3 did. And that's why PS3 emulation is so difficult even on the PC these days.
Damn, I didn't know that,
So,
honestly.
Yeah, because remember the cell processor architecture on the PS3 is so fucked up that Sony couldn't even they couldn't even release PS3 classics because they would legitimately have to remaster the game and rewrite the code.
Which kind of is funny because Square Enix did have to rewrite the code for KH1 because they lost the original source code of it.
Well, yeah, but also even if they wanted to, they had to build the game again from scratch. They couldn't use the PS3 versions because again, it requires the SPU calls.
Yeah.
So, MVG also has a video on why the PS3 can't be emulated too. So again, but like I said, for the Kingdom Hearts 3, the Kingdom Hearts Switch cloud gaming debacle, yeah, you got to be realistic. It's the time and the money wasn't worth it for them to port the game, to port at least 1.5 and 2.5 over. So that's basically what it is. And plus, the return of investment wouldn't have made sense for Square Enix.
I will say I am in that mindset of like if there was cloud gaming, I honestly think the only two that would have made sense to be in the cloud were 2.8 and 3 because I think those games are absolutely impossible to really run on the Switch without making a lot of sacrifices. However, I do genuinely believe the 1.5 and 2.5 had deserved the opportunity to have at least received the port. I understand that time constraints were probably in the mix and all, but I think that for a game that's also celebrating its 20th anniversary, I feel like they should have at least done their best to have gone above and beyond for that, or at least have had worked on it prior to that moment, because they knew 20 years of Kingdom Hearts had to have been a big deal. Yeah. So I would have assumed that they could have worked on it behind the scenes till we got to this point, but then again,
Square has made bad decisions on Kingdom Hearts
hell
in
yeah.
the last several years. That's why
Terrell and I have made 2 videos on it.
Well, yeah, and then why the fuck did they give Epic Games Store the fucking Kingdom Hearts fucking ports and stuff?
That's one of the videos.
Yeah, so it's like,
and they still make mistakes. Yeah.
Actually, what's funny is are any of the Kingdom Hearts games on the Xbox Game Pass? That would be interesting. At least on Xbox. I know it wouldn't be
Xbox
on the PC.
has them digitally, so.
Well, okay, then I'm gonna check that after the pod because I might actually load up KH1 on that. Even though I own the PS4 version, I have the Xbox One X. So I want to try. See,
That feels so awkward, man, to play a Kingdom Hearts game on Xbox of all things. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I know.
But like it feels funny, and I also this is why I feel disappointed because so many people were screaming for Kingdom Hearts to be on Switch, and I'm kind of glad we're getting them. I just wish that I could have owned a physical copy of it and not some kind
Yeah.
of digital cloud version. That unfortunately, when the server dies out for this thing, if whenever it does, then we'll never be able to play these games again because they're existing only in the cloud. So I think
Yeah.
that's my big criticism. If I have to spend so much money for something that I don't physically own or digitally own, that's under
Welcome to
my control.
Stadia.
Yeah, that's what Stadia wanted to do, and it just sucks in my book. So that's just my take on it. Taran, what about you though?
I don't really have a card in this game, but because I have the TSS saved our lives with the Ultimate Collection, so I don't have to care. But
Yeah, you don't have to care. The only one that probably will is just me because I don't own any of the
Yeah,
Kingdom Hearts titles
yeah.
in anything.
we
So
we that Ultimate Collection that TSS found that one day
it was
fucking
like
hooks you
15,
up.
20 bucks.
It's
Yeah.
like $20 and you get all of them. And if you're a PS4 owner, you basically just won. That's about it. But I mean, going in for Nintendo players, Nintendo and Kingdom Hearts has always had a weird, bizarre relationship.
We've had
So-
Nintendo games, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Kingdom Hearts game
So
on Nintendo devices.
I'll break it down. The mainline Kingdom Hearts, well, the Kingdom Hearts games with numbers behind them, usually wind up on the PlayStation somehow. But like the first Kingdom Hearts is obviously on the PlayStation. Canonically, the next Kingdom Hearts is Chain of Memories, which is on the Game Boy Advance.
Of all things.
Of all things, odd decision. Then after that, we get Kingdom Hearts 2, which is on the PlayStation 2. We also get Rechain of Memories, which is back on the PlayStation 2 as well. And then things start to get weird. Except that Game Boy Advance thing, that was already weird. Then we get Birth by Sleep, which is on the PSP of all things. And then after that, we end up getting like 356 days over 2, or 358 days over 2. That's on the
Recoded.
Nintendo. That's on the DS. Recoded's on the DS. Dream Drop Distance is on the 3DS. So naturally you think, okay, they're migrating to the Nintendo now, right? No. Kingdom Hearts 3 is back on the PlayStation and on the Xbox of all things. And at this point, you're just like, what? And so if you wanted, let's say you wanted all the Kingdom Hearts games without buying a collection. Oh yeah, and then there's using Union Cross, which is on the PC. And then the original coded game was on the cell phone, but it was only in Japan. If you wanted every Kingdom Hearts game and not the collections or the remakes, you would need to buy a PlayStation 2, a Game Boy Advance, a Nintendo DS, a Nintendo 3DS,
Well, technically, you don't have
and
to
a
buy.
PSP.
You don't technically have to buy a Game Boy Advance because you could buy the original DS. It will play Game Boy games.
Well, yeah, that too, but you would still need to like go out of your way to buy that. Like, or if you wanted all the games in the time at which they came out, then you would need to have a very weird assortment of shit.
Yeah.
So it would be weird, but you'd have them. Kingdom Hearts migrated to the Nintendo stuff, but mostly to its portable stuff. It never showed up on any like GameCube or Wii or anything. And then somehow they wound up back on PlayStation when it was time for the third installment, and Melody of Memory is on the fucking Switch. I think.
Yes.
It is.
That's
Yes!
how you can get the free song in Smash.
So what the fuck, Nintendo?
You mean Square.
Well, Nintendo and Square, I guess. Like, what the fuck, Square? Why? This is so weird.
Because the rhythm game doesn't run on Unreal Engine 3.
Yeah, but
It's Unreal Engine 4, sorry.
it's still odd. It's still very weird. Like, it's just super weird. But that's the weird relationship that Kingdom Hearts has always had. And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, them being on the cloud, that's an odd decision. But when it comes to Kingdom Hearts, they always have this weird little catch when they release games that are outside of the PlayStation. So the pack that TSS showed us about, that is on the that's for PlayStation basically. So if you own a PlayStation 4, congratulations, you get all the Kingdom Hearts games with no problem. In fact, they even made the Story Thus Far collection. So Kingdom Hearts is primarily for the PlayStation players. Yeah, I mean, if you're an Xbox player, you get 3. You get 3. But I think only recently they started to release all of them for the Xbox as well too.
Yeah.
So yeah, they finally did that, and then they released it on the PC, but it's on the Epic Game Store. Every time they release it on something outside of like Xbox and PlayStation, there's always a weird catch behind it.
Exclusivity.
Yeah, so Kingdom Hearts is just a mess. That's what it is.
Well, technically it is, because it is a licensing mess.
Technically, you don't even get 358 days over 2 unless you have a DS or a 3DS, because that game, if you buy you only get the cutscenes. So you don't even get all of the game. And then I think Coded is just cutscenes too. So yeah, you don't even get all of that. And then Union Cross is a PC game. So the Union Cross you get in the collection is just a cutscene that's a prelude to the shit that's happening. Kingdom Hearts is just a distribution mess. I don't know what happened. Maybe there's legal papers involved. Maybe it's technical issues. But Kingdom Hearts has never just flat out been easy to collect. To me, it's one of the hardest franchises to just straight up collect on. So yeah, that's my take. Maybe. Don't let that steal you away, Emmy, from playing Kingdom Hearts. Just, you gotta find a decent way to play it, or get a PlayStation, basically. Get a PlayStation. That's how you enjoy Kingdom Hearts. Get a PlayStation.
Damn, man. Yeah, just get a PlayStation because they're all accessible there. But if you want to go play them the old way, you gotta get, as Tyrone stated, a lot of shit.
Or you could be like KG and just watch all the goddamn cutscenes. You could watch a long through. Yeah, somebody did a long through of Kingdom Hearts, all the games.
Or you could just watch one of those animated videos about just talking about the history of Kingdom Hearts.
Oh yeah, you could watch the Game Explains timeline too.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
all fun though. It really is.
And try to figure that mess out.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people who like Kingdom Hearts haven't even played the game. They just like the lore.
I just like the music.
Some people play just for the Disney character.
Yeah, we play for that like shortened Disney film. It'll always be funny to me when I see Entangled, the girl crying over the death of somebody, and in the background you see Goofy over there looking goofy.
Yeah,
and he just completely ruins the mood.
And then people saying that the freaking the scene where Pooh gets disembodied from himself when he falls asleep.
I hate that people think that's from Kingdom Hearts.
That's from Kingdom Hearts, but no, it's from the original Pooh movie. Like
when he literally gets ascended.
Yeah, like literally that was a Winnie the Pooh film. Like, dude. Like
it just shows you these uncultured folks out there that don't know their goddamn lore.
We got
KG. I remember another meme. I remember the other meme. So you know the meme where the guy's aiming a gun at somebody else's head, and there's someone aiming a gun at his head, and then there's on the roof there's somebody. So it shows a Cloud getting a gun aimed at his head, and behind him is Sephiroth, and then someone's aiming a gun at Sephiroth's head, and it's fucking Sora from the roof.
Oh shit!
Oh my god!
Oh good god! Don't you guys love video gaming?
Yes, video games
truly is a beautiful thing, man. So congratulations to Sora. You really did make it above and beyond with this one, man. Very happy for you, and cannot wait to see the chaos unfold when Sora finally drops later in the future. And when that day comes,
1 week from today,
which also happens to be version 13 when he drops as well. Hint, hint, Organization 13 days later as well. A lot of nice little nods and references to Kingdom Hearts, even in the release date too. All right, then. So that's all we got to talk about in regards to that. So what do you guys say now we get into the shenanigans of the week? Why don't we? Because this is going to be a discussion that I feel is going to be an interesting one in regards to what we all have to say. So let me just make sure that I get the title and everything here ready. Okay, I got it all good to go. Everybody here in the call ready for the discussion?
Yeah, let's go.
Alrighty then. Folks, tonight we are now going to be talking about the latest episode of PM 2019 titled The Pie That Became a Star, or The P, whichever way you
P.
want to go at
P.
it. The Pie, I think it is. But
P.
the P, I'm sorry. I knew it was P, but I went to Pie for some reason. The P that became a star. When
I just call it
Satoshi
clever.
when Satoshi and Go learned that the sky in the Johto region suddenly turned pitch black and morning stopped coming, they head there to research the matter. During the research, they're told that it seems night has permanently fallen ever since a girl named Kirara that they encountered in the park met with a mysterious Pokemon. Satoshi and Go work on unraveling the mystery alongside the Sinnoh region's Pokemon League champion Shirona, aka Cynthia, whom they ran into by chance at the Historical Remnant Museum they went to for research. So let's get into this review for the night. And obviously, this is a very major one because it is once again bringing back another character that actually was already shown off a couple of weeks ago, but now we're going to be seeing her for the first time interacting with Satoshi once again in this current generation. And that is Cynthia's return in this episode and how involved she is in this episode. All of that stuff, we are going to talk about it right now. So let me give my brief opinions on this week's episode, and then we'll start breaking it down and share everybody else's opinion as well, like we normally do. So, in my take personally, I found this episode to be really, really enjoyable. In fact, I think I'm really happy that we're starting to get like this style of episode, because for what I wanted to see with Cynthia's character, I'm so happy that they kind of did something that has always been a part of her character, and we're seeing that still continue throughout this episode here, the personality and the character and how they humanize Cynthia in this episode. This is a common thing within the series as a whole. This isn't something that Journeys does. It's brand new and whatnot, but it's just nice to still see that consistency with Cynthia's character here. From the treats, even though it's not ice cream, it's still treat related, to just how she interacts with the little girl, Kirara, as well as like her conversations that she shares with Satoshi and Go, as well as even talking about the things that she does outside of just being a Pokemon League champion and explaining why she is here in the first place. Because I thought this episode in my head was going to be residing in the Sinnoh region, because there is a section in the Sinnoh region where you find all these unknown, and I thought in my head, oh, that's where we're going. So to my surprise, when I got into this episode to find out we're actually in the Johto region and Cynthia also happens to be here too, I thought that was actually really cool. I like that these characters are not just simply these over the top like figure statuses that people need to look up upon. They can just be as human as everybody else and just do their own daily things that they love to do. Like with Cynthia here, just simply wanting to learn and research about the unknown and learn more about them through the Remnant Museum that she was in. So I really like that concept of the episode with Cynthia's character. She might not have been the big focus, but she still provided enough in this episode, in my eyes anyway, to where she genuinely didn't just not steal the show, but also was still fun to just watch. Now, the main focus of this episode is based on the little girl that you see here, Kirara, and the lore, well, not the lore, but per se the the history and the backstory about her and her Cleffa and the tragedy that accompanied that story, which is very heartbreaking to see. And I'm very happy that even like say early X and Y days and even more prevalent in Sun and Moon, and now even showing up here in Journeys. The series has really started to adapt these storylines and talk about the concept of death and life and what it means to move on and to accept that sometimes these things do have to happen, and we have to understand and accept the reality that it is and have to find ourselves to move forward. I like that this little girl was the big focus of this episode because we got to see her, we got to learn about like what she did, how close she was to this Pokemon. And the thing that really sold it for me the most was when the unknown came in and they actually showed all of all of the reasonings as to why this girl was so connected to this Cleffa. And when you see the history of her life just play out while she's watching it before eventually giving a hug to the Cleffa and then saying it's okay, I'll be fine on my own now. I'll see you later. And then that's when the morning returns for the folks here in this Johto region. Like all of those hit in the right notes, man. I really was a big fan of that. And once again, this is something that I believe is the most powerful part about the series that I wish they had done more is to be able to connect and understand them because yes, they're still magical creatures. They don't exist in the real world, but the concept of death, the acceptance of moving forward and saying farewell to those that are no longer around is something that most of us can relate to. Especially, I think this episode will hit most hard with like those who have pets, who've had them since the day they were born and grew up with those little creatures and then had to see them go, If you were one of those folks out there, like I was with my dog when she passed away, uh that's why I felt like I had such a deeper connection with this episode. Is because it was something that I could relate to and I can completely understand why she felt the way that she did. So overall, from beginning to end, in my eyes anyway, this was a very enjoyable, watchable episode. I loved how every character played a role. There was maybe one part that I really, really disliked and honestly kind of ruined the mood for me for like a couple of seconds. But amongst that, though, everything else in my eyes was absolutely incredible. I really did enjoy it. It wasn't anything groundbreaking per se, but they did what they needed to tell with their story. They used the characters that I believe were handled perfectly. Go was handled good. Ash and Pikachu were great too. Cynthia, as well, in her involvement in this episode, I thought was also incredible too. Now, one little nitpick. This is not the one I was talking about before, but just a little nitpick. I'm a little sad we don't get to see where Cynthia goes next. However, I understand that they had to end the episode the way they did because honestly, after the way that scene ended, you kind of just want to have it end there. You don't want to just like continue pushing the narrative forward. You want to end it when the story is at its peak. And I think that's what they went for with this one. And I do believe that they handled it nicely. So I'm a little bummed out, though, we don't get to see where Cynthia's going next and, continue setting up. But sometimes we don't necessarily need that all the time. And just keeping things the way they are, like what we see here in this episode, can oftentimes be a good thing. So, yeah, that's just my take as this week's episode. Personally, I liked what I saw. Once again, just one minor complaint. But it can be however you wish to take it. But for the most part, I can't wait to see where the story is going to move next. And I really hope that with that winter special that we're going to be seeing in December, I think they announced it, or at least that's what they said, the winter time, we're going to be seeing Cynthia come back. Because honestly, I believe in my eyes, she's my favorite character so far in this series, man. And that's such a big thing. I don't know what it is. I think it's just Cynthia's just so great in this episode. I just want to see more of that. I like that she wasn't champion of Sinnoh Cynthia. I like that she was just simply Cynthia. And I think that's the best aspect about this episode in my eyes. Is that she doesn't need to be seen as this grand champion, and sometimes that's just not something necessary, and the writers knew that and they just went with it, and I'm just glad that it went the way it did. So if I was to give this a rating, personally, in my eyes, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. This was a really solid episode, and that's the best I can say so far. I'll probably once we all get our reviews and stuff out of the way, I'll probably go and talk with you guys more about other things that I just maybe want to establish and talk more upon, and even bring up the bit that I really didn't enjoy. So I'll pass it to any of you two right now. I don't know who wants to go next, TSS or Tyrone. Which out of you two would like to go next here? Well,
I guess I'll go next.
alrighty then. So TSS, I will let this go for you, buddy.
All right. First of all, agree with KG here. Fantastic episode. Really emotional. There's a few things I want to bring up for this episode, though. At the very beginning of the episode, when Sakuragi tells that we're in there's a Johto region and there's a endless night going on. Satoshi kind of like does like a joke saying if it's going to be night for a while, then when are they going to have breakfast? So
Yeah, it's a nice little jab there. It was kind of funny, but I also like that it's true.
But what's crazy, but what's crazy about that is that Kikuna then responds by saying Satoshi's right. It's going to mess up their life rhythm, and it's like, yeah. So that was pretty cool because usually with Satoshi, he usually just says something that's off the wall, and then nothing happens out of it. But I do like the fact that was telegraphed like that. I did like that. Also, throughout this episode, Satoshi and Go's interaction was really good. Like, there was the scene right when they were walking down the street, and before they got to the old man, saying, they're saying, it should be good morning. It's the morning time, and then it's like, no, it's like good evening. And then when they get to the old man, and Satoshi says like, oh, good evening. Or sorry. When they get to Kikuna, they say good evening. And it's like, well, whatever. It's like they don't even know. But then the following scene when Satoshi and Go have what they call lunch at night, and it's like Satoshi was saying like, oh, it's very weird to have lunch at night. So like I said, but those little kind of moments that Satoshi and Go have really made it more believable story. You really get a connection, and I think in terms of like real life chemistry, they nailed it. They totally nailed it with the dialogue. One minor complaint I do have to say, in the scene where Shirona brings out the donuts. In the box, they look more like a Western donut, but when Satoshi and Go take it out, they look more like the thinner style that you would find in a Japanese Mr. Donut. That was kind of a little weird animation oddity. But aside from that, that was just me. You know, that's just me nitpicking on this. Also, I did like the fact that the unknown that appeared with Kirada when she wished for night spelled out night. So
that
all
is
the
such
unknown.
A nice detail.
I know, right? And it was kind of crazy. But then when Go says, "Oh, I have a question for you," it's like, well, why wouldn't you break the night and to make it the morning again, make it light again? And then she says no, and then you see all the and then you see the night unknown come out of nowhere and completely like bring up the cloud, and then that's when the whole fight starts. And I did like the fact that okay, they created like these shadow Pokemon of the Pokemon that they had, but the great thing was that they were equal in power, which I think was a great touch. It wasn't showing like, oh, we're gonna make clones that are more powerful. No, they had the exact same power, and I did like the kind of battle interaction. But Shirona or Cynthia outsmarting the other Garchomp, that was pretty fucking cool too. So I think like I said, that battle was more stylistic, but I did like the way that they handled that, because it was kind of like, oh, you know, Kirara doesn't want it to do that, doesn't want it to do that because she doesn't want night to end, because she wants to make sure she can find P's star. So I thought that motivation was pretty cool. But after the unknown get defeated, then you finally get that flashback. Then you have Kirara and P like go through the history and go through the memories, and that, like I said, it meshes so well. Also, I will disagree on KG here for one thing. They didn't need to tell what Shirona was doing next, because when they were in the museum, Satoshi already established like, oh, I can't wait to face you in the Masters 8. When they get there.
I did forget about that.
Yes, she did. So, because they did mention that. They didn't have to do it twice. They already established that.
Would have just been a weird
because Satoshi specifically said, "Oh, you're in the Masters 8. I can't wait until I get to that level."
Yeah. Okay. So never mind. I'll
So
retract that bit
yeah,
there. Yeah, you're
yeah.
right.
So that's why it was done that way. But I thought, like I said, and also credit to Go for figuring out. Okay, it's the unknown that was doing it. Like I said, it's showing his intelligence in this episode too. So like I said, between the character interactions, the storytelling, and the flow, this one easily gets in the nines. I'm going to give this one a 9.1. Very good.
All right.
Very good episode.
Okay. So there you go. And Tyrone, I guess that leaves you, buddy. I have to hear your opinion. What you think about this week's episode of PM
Okay.
2019?
So, all right. So if I'm gonna talk about this episode, I obviously have to bring up a 1 hour and well, no, it wasn't 1 hour. I think it was about six. How many minutes was it? I want to say about 70 or 80. I can't remember. But I gotta bring up the almost 80-minute the 80-minute elephant in the room that this episode draws heavy inspiration from.
Oh, I see where you're going with. Yeah, that's what something we talked about as well in the
Let's talk
reaction.
about Pokemon Movie 3, The Spell of the Unknown. Um, obviously, this episode draws dangerous inspiration from it. But I want to point out one thing first before I get into that. It's to me that when Pokemon Journeys runs into any type of like kerfuffle and they need to hit heartstrings, they do this thing where they default to a little girl plot because little girls hit heartstrings in Pokemon like a lot. Bonnie did it, but obviously Bonnie had a whole arc in XY. In Journeys, we get like the girl and her Feebas with the Milotic thing. We get Kaharu's clone. All of these episodes wind up being really good, but they always wind up really good because Ash and Go aren't the primary focus. So it's almost like Journeys has to push them out the way in order for it to be relevant. So we run up into these situations where Journey might as well be called Pokemon Chronicles 2.0. Ash and Go are in this episode, and I'll partly agree with TSS. They got good interaction, but I'm gonna be honest, they're not really needed. They're not really needed. They are not necessary for this episode. I feel like Cynthia, since she's an archaeologist, and she even says in the episode, I've studied the unknown. I've been studying the unknown. I feel like she could have put two and two together. She seems pretty smart. She even knew how to talk to the little girl. She was like, yo, can we watch the stars together? Yo, I brought donuts. Like, I feel like if literally Cynthia had been in that spot before Ash and Go were, she would have figured all of this shit out before. Go solving it does make sense because he is like a puzzle solver, but Cynthia is just naturally good. Now, I will say this, and I agree with KG. They actually did make Cynthia really competent without making her like, oh, she's the champion of Sinnoh, the legendary champion. Notoriety is something people push a lot for some reason in Pokemon, especially with Ash since he gained his champion rank in Sun and Moon. But notoriety is like a tip of the iceberg in the vast world that is Pokemon. So seeing that Cynthia was just a regular archaeologist versus being the champion of Sinnoh was a very nice and welcoming touch. It shows that characters have lives outside of just Pokemon battling. And we get to go into those lives here. And Cynthia being an archaeologist is the reason that she's brought over to here why she can study, which makes for a very good narrative plot as to why she's here in the first place. Also, Sinnoh and Johto have a little bit of a connection anyway.
With
so
that Sinjo ruins, whatever it's called.
Yeah, so this is fine. It's absolutely fine that Cynthia's here and she's competent. The problem? Cynthia's always been competent. You can't really introduce Cynthia and make her look bad, honestly, because Cynthia, the last like very memorable scene I've seen of Cynthia was when she fucking spanked Paul in front of a live studio audience. Y'all saw that, right?
Yeah, that was in the middle of
DP. No, she fucked with the ice cream. That's what people.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about the level of competence she has as a trainer. she beat the shit out of Paul. Like,
The chat says don't jinx it.
so there's no real way. Yeah, there's nothing really you can do to Cynthia to really inhibit her. Most of the characters that have been brought back to Journeys have usually been brought back with some weird premise behind them and then downplayed in some way, reduced by nothing more than their character traits or something like that. Now,
Karina,
I am a little,
Iris.
Karina, Iris, little Dawn. Now, with Cynthia outsmarting the illusions, that kind of weirds me out because she used the sandstorm to blind them, but I'm like, they're illusions. Do they need to see? They don't need
No. See, the one that
They're
was
not
getting
real.
blinded was the unknown. That's
okay, fine, yeah, sure.
it's a sandstorm.
Now, let's bring up movie 3. Oh boy, movie 3. Okay,
I know,
so
it sucks, man.
The
Pokemon
Jobbers.
movie 3 is my favorite movie. It's my favorite Pokemon
And my
movie,
least favorite.
period. And TSS's least favorite because he's on some type of drug. But, like, movie 3 very much uses the plot of Molly, who loses her father and her mother and goes into a straight up rage. And thus the unknown react to it and build an entire illusion world made out of crystal. Molly becomes a Pokemon trainer. She fights Brock, Misty, and Ash, but she's overpowered because she's using illusion Pokemon. And it's only until Entei and Charizard fight that she realizes what she's doing is wrong. Having a fantasy world doesn't mean shit if the fantasy you're creating is hurting other people. We gradually build to this. Molly doesn't believe that anything she's doing is wrong in her perception. Even when Delia, Ash's mother, tells her that what she's doing is wrong, she doesn't believe it because she's selfish. She's a little girl. I mean, it's natural for her to make these selfish demands because this is what she wants. So naturally, as the plot progresses, she doesn't realize what she's doing. She thinks this is just a game. But it hits Ash personally because he's losing something while Molly's gaining back something. The two are opposed. In some sense, you can believe that Ash is the antagonist in that movie because he's opposing what otherwise would be Molly's story, where she's the protagonist. So when you flip it, the problem only starts to arise when Ash and Charizard are about to fucking die. At this point, Molly realizes that what she's doing is hurting people. We get a gradual length of her realizing these flaws, and then it's her who tells Entei to stop. She's the one that stops the battle. Ash doesn't beat Entei and Molly goes, I might as well get my shit together. No, it's literally her looking at the ramifications of her own actions and gradually growing as a character. When she realizes that what she's doing is wrong, she's able to grow and realize and accept the fact that her parents may be gone, but if she loves Pokemon enough, she herself can gain a new family, a real family, a family that isn't made of illusions. It's her character arc and development. It's the one time where an antagonist learns something and is able to implement it in the movie. We only get about 20 minutes of this, so we don't get any time for any of that shit. Literally goes like, yo, you should probably just accept Clef dead. Then the little girl just snaps and goes, fuck you! And then the unknowns fucking attack. And Cynthia's like, oh shit. Sandstorm and scale shot. Oh, okay, that's over. And then she goes, oh shit, I should probably get my shit together. Like, it all happens so fast. These narrative beats happen in a fucking breakneck pace. You don't get time to really absorb what's going on. And does that make it bad? Absolutely not. Especially when she does that little thing with Cleffa. I will admit, that's sad as fuck. It hits an emotional string. But we got here so damn quickly. We don't get the chance to absorb any of it. We don't know enough about Cleffa. We don't know enough about what she lost. We know about it only because at first she starts wanting to stargaze. But at the beginning of the episode, it shows her wanting to stargaze. And then that's about it. We don't get any, like... Oh, also, thanks you for the follow, Noah.
Thank you for the follow.
We don't get any sense of her slowly, like, being upset about it and causing this problem where she believes... Because at the beginning, she believes that nothing she's doing is wrong. She just loves the fact that she's gazing at the night sky, and even she brings her mother into it every time. But nobody, like, we never see it, like, get to a point where she goes through this arc where it's like, oh, wait, what I'm doing is fucked. During the whole battle, it doesn't even cut to her. Cynthia deals with the problem. And that's another problem. Since Cynthia deals with the problem so quickly, Cynthia's way too powerful for this particular scene. Because once her Garchomp comes in and wipes everything out, the conflict has ended in the little moments that it had to begin. No one ever stops and sees this oh, this is the little girl that's causing all of this. Oh, she's the one behind it. Oh, she suffered this much because of it. She's upset. So by that time, it all happens in a breakneck pace, and it happens towards the last few minutes of the episode. You don't get the chance to really absorb the narrative here. And like I said before, Ash and Goat don't do anything. Yeah, they do a couple of attacks, but they're only there to pretty much prove that the Unknown have thought of an unstoppable combo. Just mirror everything that Ash and Goat are doing. But by that time, Cynthia comes in and just sort of cleans shop and it's over. Whereas in, like I said, in the movie 3 example, it's up to Molly to realize what she's doing is hurting people. She's the one that goes, oh, wait, my actions have consequences. Fuck. I don't know. Just having her get beat up and then suddenly, because it all happens literally right after. Once Garchomp wins that little skirmish, I guess, she just literally the shadows go away and she goes, yeah, I should stop nighttime forever, huh? Okay. And then it just gets done. It's just done. We don't get any gradual version of that. Now, I know, again, people are going to come in and say, well, Tyrone, you're comparing a movie that lasts a lot longer with a higher budget to an episode of Pokemon Journeys, which is weekly and doesn't have blah, 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 blah. But if the episode has the exact same narrative storyline and is following the same narrative beats, involving the same type of character, which is a little girl that lost something and thus wants it back and goes by any means to get it, even if it involves hurting other people, then I think I'm allowed to do a little compare and contrast. And unfortunately, it's because I know movie 3 exists. This episode gets docked some points. Now, is this a bad episode? No, it's not.
Mornox has a good point.
Yeah, it's not. I don't. Even if the episode borrowed movie 3's spot, this is not movie 3. The episode is movie 3 done right in terms of the little girl. I disagree. I believe Molly did it better because the movie had more time to do the narrative beats. If you've been to any type of middle school and you've done any type of English class, you know your narrative beats are intro, rising action, conflict, falling action, conclusion, right? This one does intro, climax, falling action, conclusion.
Well, actually, no. Technically, because the night technically happened the week before.
Yeah, but like I said, that's intro. That we're still in intro phase at that point. Climax happens the minute Go says that one thing. Hey, maybe you should stop dying. No, and then bam, we're in conflict. That's it. There was no rising action at all. We went straight. We're here in conflict.
Well, but they had the inciting incident happen within 25 seconds of the intro.
Yeah, like I said, in movie 3, it was longer, so you have a more build-up. I can tell you the rising action of movie 3. So the rising action of movie 3 is obviously the first battle that that Brock has with Molly. The second battle that Misty has with Molly. Then by the time Ash gets up to the top, he's fighting Entei. The climax is Ash versus Entei. That is that fight. That is that fight, baby. Right there. Boom. And then the falling action is literally when Molly tells Entei to stop because it's crushing Charizard's fucking throat. At that point, we're stopping the Unknown, so that clears up. And then the falling action is Molly realizing what she's doing is wrong. Everything goes right back to normal. And then the conclusion is literally when Molly is at the estate and the entire sky turns back to normal and everything's cured. Intro, rising action, climax, falling action, conclusion. That is your narrative triangle right there. This doesn't have enough time to do all of that.
I also even see that with this episode too, except the unfortunate thing is what you're saying, the Brock stuff and Misty stuff, they had more time for that. But exactly, those aspects are still in this episode now that you bring it up like that, because it's like you say Brock and then Misty and then Ash. It was like it was first Ash and then Go, and then it ended off on Cynthia, and then so Cynthia. You can
even argue Ash and them getting into the palace themselves, or Ash's mother getting kidnapped. Ash's mother getting kidnapped is what jump starts the conflict. Why is Ash here? He has to get his mother back. There's a reason he's here. This is personal. This is why he's here. There's really no reason Ash is here in this episode. Yeah. He's here to check it out. But here, we get the main character involved. Okay, we got our antagonist. We're going up and up and up and up. We discover the palace. We go in the palace. We're not even introduced to Molly at this point. This is rising action shit. Once we get introduced to Molly, she's delusional. She doesn't believe anything's wrong, so there's no conflicting premise right now. She doesn't believe this is wrong. It's until Ash gets up here and says, hey, give me my mother back. Molly's like, fuck off. Get away from my palace. This is my mom. Ash goes, fuck off. That's my mom. Opposing action. Antagonist. Protagonist. Clash of ideals. Yeah. That's our climax right there. So,
okay, but too bad Charizard fight was shit. But anyway, that's besides the point.
That's getting into a completely different discussion at that point. No, but listen, a lot of the aspects you bring up, though, Tyrone, once again, I see those in this episode, too. Yeah. Like, a lot of the beats in this episode
things
make
seems
sense.
really chill until Ghost says that one thing. Until Ghost says that one thing, everything jump starts.
Yeah, like, that's what I was going to say. Right, it was at that peak where he's like, yo, just accept the thing is dead and let's just move on. Well, not to like that, but I think the funny thing about it, too, and also I see a lot of people say it's also another way of seeing Ghost's character. It's just...
By the way, Go got a Murkrow, by the way.
Shit! Yeah, you got a second Murkrow.
It's so irrelevant.
Second one, yeah,
it's so irrelevant.
People don't even realize that it was actually his second one.
Yeah, because the first one was during the fucking special, but nobody fucking talks about that.
Yeah, it was so irrelevant. I didn't even see a point in that. That ate up time that otherwise would have been useful somewhere else.
What, 4 seconds? Okay,
no, I think he was talking about the Sudowoodo and the old man.
The whole scene, all of it.
Because the Sudowoodo and the old man were also part. But the old man was there to establish like how the characters are not adjusted to this conflict.
Yeah, but we already got some of that with other characters. Like they already explained that when they said, hey, it was nighttime every day. They had innocent bystanders already said it. Ash and Go had enough time to eat lunch and shit at dark. Like, we already got our setting, but this was just here. It exists, and thus it is. Like I said, I even said it. I don't think this is a bad episode. It actually does a really good job of subtlety when it comes to Cynthia. Like I said, out of all the characters that have returned so far, I think Cynthia weirdly has done the best, but that's only because it's Cynthia. Like, that's not hard. You can't fuck Cynthia up for real. So, yeah, kudos to Journeys for doing a decent Cynthia cameo. But, like I said, I know full well what this episode's based off of. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, because movie 3 exists, I know this will never measure up to its standard. And I know that going into it. It's just so jarringly, obvious what it's based off of that I have to sit and go, yeah, that movie 3 light,
yeah, it's way too much of a coincidence to
it's way too similar.
This isn't one of those rare instances where you can always tackle past episodes and people can brush. No, but a lot of the beats in this episode really do derive from movie 3. Then that's not necessarily a bad thing for most people.
It's not. But Pokemon's a more than 20-year-old series. Yeah, you're gonna run into similar plot.
Well, to be fair, they started running out of ideas and best wishes actually for the filler.
That's why they tried rebooting. Including that didn't work.
That's just gonna happen. And
also not to mention that. And technically, movie 3 wasn't canon, but, it's nice to see that something... Well, considering that we've had 2 other episodes with Unknown in the series, actually, one in Johto and one in
movie 3 isn't canon. I see it doesn't contradict anything. It fits perfectly in the timeline, actually. There's no contradictions. It literally happens when Ash and the others
I just wish they had referenced it. It still fits. Yeah, you're right. I just wish they just referenced it.
It literally just happens when Ash and the others are near Greenfield. That's fine. They're in the Johto region at this point. I can accept that. Delia just happened to be in the area. Like she was in the area actually because apparently she knew Doctor what's the professor's name? I think it's Professor Hawken. Yeah, I think it's Professor Hawken. And when Molly was, she remembered Molly, and then she went to Greenfield and got kidnapped by Entei. Like, makes sense to me. It
Makes sense that a woman
Yeah.
got her ass robbed by a giant ass
I mean,
four-legged creature.
the movie sets its place in a time where I don't see how it can not be canon. I guess it's just not canon because it's a movie.
Oh yeah,
But-
that is true. It also ties into the Charcific Valley too, so it is still part of the anime.
So like I said, it doesn't contradict anything, so I don't see what the canosity problem is. But whatever. Yeah, like just again,
It's a good movie, guys. Go watch it as well. Just like this episode. Go watch it too. This episode isn't necessarily bad. It's just one of those rare instances
if I wanted
where
to watch Cyan Chikorita, I'd watch a movie.
I'm giving it a 7.5.
all right.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
very
not
good.
terrible. It's not like I said. I want to stress that it's not bad. I just know movie 3 exists, so that docks points from this.
Yeah, and that's just something that I feel what a series,
They're
as we stated
too
before,
similar.
what a series this
Yeah.
old, there will always be those instances. But like this episode, I feel out of all the
They're
episodes we've
way too
watched,
similar.
yeah, it was way too by the beat with movie 3. Like everybody who had watched this episode felt from the very beginning they got to certain parts of the episodes like, yeah, this is like beat for beat movie 3, except shortened to fit into an episodic show. So, but still, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. And I think this episode does a lot of good things right and changes enough of it to where I feel it's still, while being beat for beat movie 3, still can get its own identity for the concept of like the story that they're trying to say in this episode with the concept of death, because
Yes.
like with the father in movie 3, but he was still alive. This one ain't coming back,
Yeah.
so I feel like, and also once again, this is another beat as well that I feel kind of hits more relatable, at least with the creature side of things, especially for those who've had pets, who've grown up with pets and whatnot. And this is something I've always praised Pokemon ever since some of the more recent series, like with X and Y, with the old man and not the Cleffa. What was the name of that Pokemon? The Esper. You remember that episode with the Esper? Or say the episode with the Flabébé when they were trying to find a flower for the old man. There are a lot of episodes that like, and even Sun and Moon, especially with the Minior, the Litten, the Stoutlands, just so many episodes like these, just to name as examples. I like that this series has really started to go more and more into these kind of concepts to teach valuable lessons to those who are watching this show. And
I think you want to know what it also is too. And again, this isn't the episode's fault because it only has an amount of time, but it's something that I see in movie 3 because I watch that movie a lot. Molly battles Brock and Misty, and she's having fun. We get to see that she's enjoying this shit. Here, we get the girl enjoying stargazing, and that's about it.
yeah,
And Go brings up a really good point. And obviously, Cynthia counters it by doing a well, maybe answer instead of a definite one, because I guess unknown or mysterious. Go's like, why doesn't she just have the unknown make illusions of Cleffa? And Cynthia goes, well, she hasn't accepted that Cleffa's dead yet. And in my brain, I'm thinking, then should there be an illusion of Cleffa?
No.
it's because I think the mother said something different, if I recall correctly.
Oh, she became a shooting star. That's right.
Yeah, exactly, and that's
Yeah.
what she kept looking for in the sky.
Yeah, she was looking for the star in the
That-
sky, and that's why that was the whole point that she wanted to be forever.
That's
night.
why the
Even
episode is
then-
literally titled "The Pea That Became a Star." It's because
Yes.
the whole concept is about the starry night sky.
And then even then, I don't know. And then even then, I feel like there should. Again, it's not the episode's fault. I didn't have enough time, but I feel like we should have gotten more of like. I think the difference, the core difference, obviously between these is that nobody knows that she's doing this until like last minute, whereas the beginning, Ash and the others kind of pick up that Molly's doing all this.
Yeah, you know what's the weirdest part about this episode? It's so
What?
weird. Like I see like I want more time with it, but I don't want 2 episodes with this one.
No,
I
it
don't
wouldn't have
think
worked.
that like I feel like this episode got a lot of the notes right in one moment, but I feel like if they had maybe just like 5 minutes or 10 more minutes, like that could have been just enough to have just squeezed in a little bit more.
Marina,
But I didn't
Morna,
want it to be two
yeah.
episodes because I feel like then they could have probably overstretched the story to the point that it would drag out. Because I will be honest with you,
See,
I feel like the beginning part of the episode was a little bit slow before we eventually got to the actual story of the episode. And I feel like they had to stretch that out even more. And I feel like that could have ruined
I feel like
certain
it actually would
aspects.
have benefited from a two-parter personally, only because again, this is borrowing from
Yeah,
movie
you're
three.
right. They could have skipped the opening and
It,
ending, and I think that
it,
could have
it
been
was
better.
borrowing movie three, but it didn't have the time to do the movie three shit. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, it doesn't pan out as well. Mornox, you keep bringing up like they're two different little girls. I get that they're different, but they're still following the formula. They're both little girls, and they're both coming from pretty much the same premise. They lost something, and they're using illusions in order to like bring it back. Like the concept's still dangerously the same. They're following the exact same template. Like the only difference is that you learn a little bit more about Molly because the movie has more time to talk about Molly.
Yeah, Emmy brings
Also-
up a good point. Yeah, that ending really threw the hell
Well-
off because
well,
the song just doesn't match.
Well, and also by the way, the live action version was played this week too, the dancing version.
Yeah, I think that's only going to be in the TV run, not the actual
Yes.
digital
About
release.
Yeah. So that was So the live action dancing version was.
I can't believe just thinking about it, just be like, oh man, the girl finally accepted it and moved
Oh, no.
on. All right, bring
Honey,
in the dancing
Patsugunda.
humans, everybody. Let's go. I'm like, nah. But I really do believe they could have just removed. In fact, here, let me bring that one little nitpick I had with this episode. It once again just a very minor one, but I didn't really like it. I hated that scene when they got blown back by the unknown, and you see Cynthia like elegantly land back on her feet. And this is supposed to be a really serious moment, by the way. This literally happens after they tried to convince the girl that tried to move on, right? Like, it's supposed to be a very tense scene. And then they tried to throw in this weird, goofy scene by having Ash land his face on the floor, which is okay. You know, he couldn't react to the moment. But then they had Go, for some reason, land on top of him.
BL fuel.
And I'm like, listen, there's a time and place for that. I mean, Oak says it out loud almost
I
every
think
time.
it's BL fuel. I think it's just them doing slapstick humor.
Yeah, that it wasn't BL fuel. Well, you could view it however you wish, but I honestly just find it like they could have just had that. Like they could have just had Ash and Go fall off on separate sides, and that would have still worked because the tensity is still there. But when you try to put in comedy in the middle of a tense moment, that can honestly throw a person off, and it did for me for a bit, but it doesn't affect the episode as a whole.
I'm gonna get crucified at the stake for this one, but when it comes to journeys. And I know there's a fan base out there, so I know y'all. I mean, other than TSS, I know y'all out there. But I have seen Go and Ash as a couple. Say that in air quotes. I've seen the most reached scenes for them. God damn, I have never seen such a reach.
I put my shoulders over Go. Oh shit.
Yeah, like literally, they'll do some shit that like brothers do, and it's like they're lovers, and I'm like, what the fuck? What?
Yeah,
They'll do something as simple as like Ash will put his hand on like Go's shoulder as a reassurance. I'm like, I put my hand on Male's shoulder for reassurance. That doesn't mean I fucking love them. What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Yeah, but it's not just that. It's the other shit. It's the other shit that has to do with that. That's what it is. It's a running gag.
There's some I see that okay, I guess you could put that as shipping fuel.
BL is boys love, by the way.
I know what. Yeah, no.
No, he's talking
but somebody on the chat.
Audience. But to me, I I don't know. He did some of the shit with Clement too, so I didn't like.
No, because
Kiawe as well.
They're brothers, like they're brother. I thought there was like a brother situation, like they're brothers.
That's exactly
but
they're
last
just
time,
brothers.
but Kiawe didn't grab Satoshi's ass, so.
You know what it is? You know that one SpongeBob and Squidward scene where it's like SpongeBob is like,
episode,
we're like brothers, only closer, and then he lifts up his shirt and there's like the heartbeat connected to the two. That's exactly what's going on right now.
But in the context of that episode, Go grabbed Ash's pants because he was about to fall, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I never got coupled from that. I thought Go was just trying to maintain his balance. Like, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, there's obviously gonna be fuel for every ship. I mean, they ship Ash's fucking backpack with Serena's, for fuck's sake. But like, this to me feels like the largest reach I've ever seen in my life.
I want to bring up something chat said with Mornox. KG, we have seen your fish from the previous Project Mew episode, and that was an intense. Yeah, but like, Mr. Fish didn't do anything wrong. He did what he needed to do. He never added a comedy scene in that. It was us, the viewers, who just call him Mr. Fish, you know, and that's our perspective. But like, Mr. Fish did nothing wrong in that episode. Mr. Fish came in, he went and delivered the water and went out. That was it, you know. Mr. Fish had nothing wrong with that. What was wrong, at least not necessarily wrong, but just more so nitpick, is that they actually animated a scene that was goofy, that was kind of an odd placement in the middle of a tense moment, you know.
It'd be like if in movie 3 when Ash got up to the top to fight Entei, Brock and Misty showed up and Brock started flirting with a girl randomly on the side. Like, it just throws off the whole balance of the tension.
Yeah, because it's just mostly trying to be in that moment. You're trying to feel for this girl. You're trying to empathize with her and just see why she's acting the way she is. But then when you throw a little scene like that, it kind of does throw off somebody. Like I pointed this out in the reaction. Another moment that threw me off, like earlier episodes, remember that episode when the Farfetch, the Galarian Farfetch, was fighting against the Glade, and then his leak broke? But then the commercial cuts out, and it's supposed to be a super tense moment, no audio, no nothing. Suddenly, halfway, who's that Pokemon? Pocket Monsters! And I'm like, what the... You know, that just threw me off for a loop. Now, it's not the episode's fault. I'm just saying that was just sort of an odd placement at the time when it was supposed to keep
Pokemon has proven that they can get around those little things. Yeah. Like, for example, in X and Y, when Ash loses to Wolfric, the preview for the next episode has no music at all. It's just the sound of snow and wind.
Yeah, that's and that was great, too. That's still one of the best previews for any episode.
But Journeys has... I don't think KG will ever forgive the Mewtwo preview.
Nah, that preview was ass, man.
Yeah. I'm like, this is it. This is Mewtwo. I'm like, oh.
You gotta pay her Ash that money.
He's not gonna like that shit.
Nah, bro, that episode still stings. That episode preview was ass. That episode was ass. That it was just a pile of ass that time. God, I want to go back and rewatch that again.
Yeah, it's
how far we've come.
How far we've
right. It's just, I don't know. Like I said, and I want to make it clear, this episode wasn't offensive to me because I've
come to this wrong. It really didn't do nothing wrong.
I've come to this point with Journeys where filler episodes like this are so inoffensive, they unfortunately get like a 5 or a 6 or a 7 by default. Like, that's kind of sad, but it's weirdly also because the filler episodes, in some cases, can actually do pretty decent when they try hard enough. You get your occasional episodes like that damn Psyduck one, but then you also get your fucking Blue episodes, and that shit was abysmal. So, at this point, I've come to a weird level of, like, nonchalant indifference. That this episode doesn't offend me terribly. I just know that movie 3 exists, and because movie 3 exists, it docks this one's score bad. Like, it hits
Except
it
the animation
hard.
in this episode was better. But
I'm not gonna go into that with you, TSS. First of all, it's a movie, and
secondly, we're talking about Journeys.
The movie did way better in animation. I'm not even gonna try to put that fight up with you, but just
movie 2's animation was shit, but I think it's still my favorite movie.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, this one existed and therefore it is, but it did a relatively decent job. It didn't.
Someone agrees with TSS.
Oh God. Well, Goggles. No, it's Goggles. It's Goggles. He always does that thing.
I just love that.
Goggle gets 10 out of 10 for a grade.
No. He does that thing where you could be like, I ate a sandwich with bread, and Goggle will be like, what's bread? Like, he'll legitimately say some shit that.
Oh shit! There was a sequel to Bread.
Yeah, like he'll say some shit that like obviously is like.
High Prov agrees with me too. I win.
Oh well, there you go. High Prov is actually
because High Prov versus 1 million people.
Yeah. You know, we
Okay,
okay.
let's talk
Yeah,
about. Okay, so right now, what we're gonna do is let's do this before this becomes 2 hours, and let's talk about a couple things. Number one, there's no episode this week. Instead, we're getting an episode of Dekamori Hunter,
We're
which is the
getting a
people.
lot
Which
of like breaks recently. Jesus fuck.
blame the
well, actually, the
Backstreet
funny.
Boys, and also
Well,
a lot of specials as well happening around this time.
the funny thing actually is that Yokai Watch is still going. Now, Dekimori Hunter is airing on Friday, so we're getting no episode this week. So it's time to eat, it's time to watch people eat a lot of shit, like 6 kilogram shit. I don't know what's going to happen this week, but yeah, 1 hour for Dekimori Hunter. And then next week, the following week, we're going to get something. We're going to get the Magic Lucari episode, which.
Yes. So, with that being said, that does make us kind of question as to what the hell we're going to be doing this week if no episodes are happening during this time. Somebody's saying they want us to do a episode review ranking. Hell no, I ain't doing that. Especially when the show's not even complete. So,
They're all
I'll do you
bad.
one better. I'll do you guys one better. At least on Friday, because we always do reactions on Fridays. On Friday instead am going to do all 900 Pokemon rankings, and I'm going to rank them all and see which ones are my S tiers, my A tiers, my B tiers, and F tiers. And we're going to rank all 900 Pokemon, and we're going to see if you guys agree with my opinions or not. So, that's going to probably be one of the longest streams I'll probably do for a single thing. So, I hope you guys look forward to that on Friday.
And then watch KG get vocal nodules at the end.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk like this, man. But nah, so I'm bringing a lot of water. I'm getting myself hydrated throughout that entire thing. You all better remind me to stay hydrated, as always, chat as well. But obviously, let's get into the talk about what we're gonna be doing this week. What do you guys say to that?
Yeah.
So, Tyrone, I have to be honest with you. I still haven't gotten any of the Mario Party stuff done. I blame Minecraft and the castle that I completely forgot that Mario Party was supposed to be this week.
Tomorrow.
But Tyrone, do you want to go again for another Mario Kart? Because it seems Chad really wants it again.
Sure, why not? Yeah.
Yeah, let's do some more Mario Kart. It seems the community really loves Mario Kart, man. Especially because they actually get to be involved in it too, instead of just simply also just watching. And look, chat, would you like more Mario Kart? Would you like more Mario Kart? Say yes in the chat for me, please, so we can prove that we need more Mario Karts in our lives. Yes. Okay, good. two is good enough for me. But now, so yeah, tomorrow, Tyrone, what are we doing? Because we still have to do your X and Y continuation, don't we?
Yeah, we gotta do that.
All right, so it's gonna be a mixture of the Mario Karts as well as the Pokemon X and Y continuation of the Nuzlocke on your channel, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I already finished mine 2 weeks ago. So let's see. Moving on from that, though, we have Wednesday. What do you have for Wednesday, Tyrone?
Nothing. Because I will be going out of town the day after, so I gotta get ready.
All right.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so no stream from me on Wednesday or Thursday.
Alrighty. So there you go, chat.
But I will make up for it when I come back.
So basically he's going to be gone for the majority of the week. So
Yep,
yeah.
pretty much.
So with that said, though, you can always tune in on my channel on Wednesday. We're gonna do some more Sword and Shield shenanigans. Honestly, on Thursday I might just go back to playing more Minecraft as well, because I've been really loving those Minecraft chill streams. Honestly, just taking a little bit of a double break from Pokemon for just a wee bit. So.
Okay, that sounds good.
That's why I'm gonna do Minecraft for Thursday, and then on Friday we'll do the 900 Pokemon ranking. Good God. Bless.
And then while you're listening to KG blow out his voice, you could watch me continuing on with Persona 3 Fest on dub. It's going to be part 19. Holy shit, it's 19 parts already.
Good God.
That's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern on Friday on my Twitch channel, TSS_killer. And then Saturday, we're going to do part 2 of Yakuza Kiwami with the music mod, which means that we're going to get to hear some nice fucking Don Quixote music and all the other shit. So we're going to have that. So that is going to happen at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So 4 p.m. Eastern Saturday, we're going to do that 3-hour stream. So yeah, so that means some crazy stuff there. So yeah, so Persona 3 Fest on Friday night at 9 o'clock 9 p.m. and Yakuza Kiwami 4 p.m. Saturday.
All right, then. Well, there you go, chat. There is our schedule for this week. I hope you guys look forward to the shenanigans that we are going to get ourselves into during that week. So please tune in our respective channels. Thank you once again to Donnie for providing the links for everybody that is here. Tyrone, TSS, Terrell. So let us go and wrap things up for tonight. Why don't we? Thanks everybody so much for being with us here for another weekly session of the PokePod World Podcast. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to continue being here every Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for more weekly podcast shenanigans. If you'd like to see any of our other stuff, though, make sure to just follow us in our respective Twitters, Twitch accounts, YouTubes, wherever we may be. And as always, we'll talk with all of you guys later in whatever video we make. Take care, everybody, and as always, have yourselves an awesome day. Let's go raid my buddy Taco, why don't we? He's streaming some Metroid Dread, and let's go give him some love, why don't we, folks? So, I'll talk with you guys all
Emmy
day.
PSD, let's go.
Let's go. Come on, everybody. Go.
PTSD, wash your fucking hands.
PTSD.
Bye.
Oh, wait, there was a poll.
We finished the poll already.
I finished it.
Yeah. Bye.
Who won? Bye-bye. Final next time.